Buzz's Retirement Garage, The Ramblings of a Retired Lunatic, episode 14. It's been a few months since I did one of these, and talking about current events is apropos again, I guess, since the election's over. And although we don't do politics on this channel, it's refreshing that the only thing left is the Medicare commercials now. So, and eventually those will be gone as well. So I had a couple thoughts. If you're looking for retirement advice from this video, turn the channel. This is just the ramblings of this retired lunatic. And it got me to thinking about a few things that were headliners in the news recently. And I thought I would just talk about it. So pull up your chair. You got your little, just pretend we got this little barrel sitting in front of us, and we got the checkerboard here, the fireplace going in the background, and we got our chairs around, and we're just all sitting here talking. How about that? You got that frame of mind, that visual? Anyway, couple of things that matter of fact, I got this email today that it's been 4 years since I've had my driver's license renewed, and with my birthday coming up in January, I have to do a compliant license now, where I have to bring in my birth certificate and my driver's license and my work history, or my social security number, and all kinds of crazy stuff, right? So I've never done that before, but I guess I'll have to figure that one out. But at least they sent me an email and reminded me, because I know 4 years ago I didn't get it done until February, because I just totally forgot about it. To the point where I was actually putting it at work. When I was at work, I'd put it up on the whiteboard in the cafeteria, because we'd put birthdays up for people who had birthdays, and we'd put everybody's birthday for the month. And then there was a little side note that said, have you checked to see if you have to renew your license? And here, I'm the guy that's writing this stuff up. I'm the guy that's putting the birthday names up there. And I'm the guy that forgot to do my own. It's amazing. But, so if your birthday's coming up, check to make sure that your driver's license isn't going to expire. Hopefully they give you notification. But I've never done a compliant license before, so that'll be something new for me. And again, not being political, but I just came back from Sam's Club today, and gas was $2.58. Now, I know before COVID, I used to use the Gas Buddy app, gasbuddy.com website. Well, they have an app, and the app used to list the gas prices. People would post gas prices from all the various stations. So when I was driving 95 miles a day, I would always use that app to find the cheapest gas prices around. And I just remember looking at it before COVID, and it was $2.69 at a BP station in Akron, which was a pretty good price. So gas before COVID for me in Ohio or in Akron was $2.69. I just paid $2.58. Again, not getting into politics, but $2.58, I don't see any president coming in the next 4 years that's going to get it lower than $2.58. Maybe a few pennies lower, but that's a pretty good deal. So anyway, I'm kind of glad during this holiday season I got to fill up, had a half a tank, got to fill up, and only cost me $18, so that was good. United Healthcare, the guy that got shot, Brian Thompson, was really interesting, because people are really falling out about this, because a lot of people are talking about, on some of the threads that I've read on Facebook and on Reddit and some other different places, that they are having some serious problems getting claims paid from United Healthcare. At the same time, I'm reading about Anthem. That sounds like somebody's shooting, huh? I'm reading about Anthem, how they were going to, no, not Anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shield, how they were going to not pay for the anesthesia. They weren't going to pay the full bill. Well, then they turned around and decided, from the backlash from that they would do that. But these insurance companies are making billions and billions of dollars in profit. And if they're truly denying claims, that's just, there's just a whole bunch of wrong with that. And again, I'm not here to solve the problem. I'm not here to point fingers at whoever and whatever. We got here because of a lot of different people. We got to this point in time. Wasn't one particular group, but I can tell you what, it can't keep going on like this. There's just no way, shape, or form it can keep going on like this. Um, and yeah, it's just funny because back in November 12th, I got an email from somebody. So this is weeks ago. I got an email from somebody that was just talking about United Healthcare, and they were really dogging them, talking about some that the DOJ is going after them, looking at some things, and there was some. He gave me a couple links to some stuff, and it doesn't look like he's wrong. There's a lot of things happening. So what this has to do with retirement is one of the reasons I went on Medicare Plan N instead of taking a Plan C or an Advantage plan was because of this. When I had my cancer in 2014, when I had lymphoma, I had one instance, and it wasn't bad, but I had one instance where my oncologist wanted me to get a PET scan, a PET scan, and the insurance company refused it and said I had to get a CAT scan first. And the doctor just shook his head. He was like, you know, they're two completely different tests. They look for different things. And okay, you're going to go do the CT, but then you're still going to do the PET. We just have to go through this process. And I guess I understand, but when you have cancer, it's like you're being told to do something by the insurance company that the doctor didn't want you to do. He wanted you to go right to a PET scan, and I'm told that I have to go through this process. And I know at work, I had a guy who used to complain all the time because he took this certain medication, and it was a name brand medication. His doctor wanted him to stay on this name brand medication and not take the generic equivalent. Well, as soon as we changed insurance companies, which we did, and I won't say it's United Healthcare. I don't know who, I don't remember the exact insurance company that we were dealing with, but they tried like heck to make him go to the generic, even though the doctor had to tell them over and over again, no, I want him to take this the regular pill and not the generic brand. But they just kept forcing the issue, and they weren't paying for it, and you know, it just got to be a real hassle for this guy. And that's just two things that I know of where insurance companies kind of get their nose into things, you know, kind of overruling the doctors at sometimes. That's how I take it, and maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I perceive it. And so by taking Plan N and just dealing with Medicare and not dealing with insurance companies, which you have to deal with when you have an Advantage plan, I think it's better. I'm better off. And I'm not knocking the Advantage plans to the people that have them. I know a lot of you out there have them, and you've had no issues with pre-authorizations, and you've had no issues at all, and that's great. But the threads that I'm reading about people who are denied coverage or they're not paying for something, there was a lady who said she had breast cancer and they weren't going to pay for that. And again, I don't know all the details, and I don't know if she's telling the truth, and I don't know all that, but it's a big problem, and it's a big deal. Anyway, enough about that. The other thing that people were rallying about is, you know, come the end of the year, so now we got our Medicare has increased about $10, right, per month, and then our COLA for Social Security. If you're on Social Security, your COLA went up 2.5%. And a lot of people are falling out about that because they think that the numbers are incorrect. And they cite that the FBI had to redo their statistics. So, you know, when they were talking about crime, they, you know, put out statistics and then they put them out again, revised statistics, and the crime rate was up, like one side was saying. And then you had the jobs where they came out with, you know, it's going to be X amount of jobs. Wow, 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 this is great. Well, then they turned around and revised that number down, pretty large number down. And now people are thinking that the 2.5% is really not correct. It should be higher. So anyway, I'm just got on Social Security a year ago. So it's all kind of new to me. So I'd like to do a look back and see, well, what were the percentages? And I wrote them down. I buzzed his whiteboard. He wrote them down. Anyway, so you could see for 2025, we had that 2.5%. But if you look, now, yeah, up to 5.9 and 8.7 for those 2 years. And again, not getting into politics, but because of COVID and some, obviously a lot of different factors got pushed into that with the inflation rate going up. Because I think this number comes from the third quarter analysis of inflation to get that COLA number. So whatever the third quarter comes out to be, they'll pay you that for January, in a nutshell. And so if you look down through the list, and we were 2.30, 1.7, 1.5, 1.7. 2.5 is really not that bad when you look at the overall picture. 2011 and 2010, we had 0.0 again. There's 2.1s, 1.4s, 2.3s, a 1.6 in 2020. So 2.5 is probably not a bad number, really. When you take a look at the past 20 years, 2.5, if inflation is truly that number, and it's not revised to say it's something different, but where'd my paper go? I gotta get my paper. My little cheat sheet. Sorry about that. So looking back, I'm thinking, okay, 2.5% isn't great, but people are falling out about it. I mean, there's just so many comments that, and yeah, maybe they should do it differently. Maybe they should, when you're raising Medicare and then raising that 2.5%, there are some people out there that are upside down on that number. Yeah, that's not a great thing. But, overall, when you start looking at in the overall picture going back 20 years, it's not that crazy of a number. So anyway, that's just my take on it, because I just wanted to learn what were the numbers. And then I'll leave you with this. I just thought it was interesting. They have this girl, her name is Haley Welsh. And of course, who's Haley Welsh? Does anybody know who Haley Welsh is? Well, she's that Haktua girl. So, I mean, I can't believe the fame she's got. She's got more than her 15 minutes of fame, that's for sure. Anyway, she put out a coin, like the Bitcoin, similar to that, and it was named Hawk. And I have to laugh about the story because the coin sold $500 million. And as fast as it went up, it crashed back down. The last article I read said it was 28 million or something right now, market cap. But from $500 million, and now they want to sue her because people lost all of their money. They lost thousands and thousands of dollars. So now they want to sue her for putting out this coin and that they lost money, and now there's some people behind it, that there was a couple wallets that bought all of the coins and then resold them, got rid of them, making a huge profit. They think there's some insider trading and all this crazy stuff with this coin. But I just can't believe her name was associated with that. $500 million. I mean, if you're foolish enough to spend money on Hawk, and I hope none of my subscribers out there have done that, but if you are, hey, you got what you deserve. I can tell you that right now. But I just thought that was funny. So, The Ramblings of a Retired Lunatic, episode 14. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. I know I will. Take care.